This is a poster about a book chapter that I'm working on with Douglas Hodgson and Brownwing Coat. Douglas he creates an art index for Canadian art. Brownwing creates an art index for Australian art. And we've been working together for a number of years based on this, researching the Cantillon effect, which is those who touch the money first then gain from that because they're able to then take money which has yet to trickle its way through the economy. And then, especially with quantitative easing, that policymaker insiders buy art. The in Canada, it's the broker dealers who have the insider channel for monetary policy, and in Australia, it's the banks, the big five banks who have the insider uh, policy insider for central banking policy. And so what the banks do in Australia is buy art. And we saw both in Hodgson et al. 2024, we saw that the insider banking institutions use that easy money to then buy art. And this art, real estate, and stock market, but we're focused on asset bubbles in the painting market. So this is what the Cantillon effect. So the wealthy, the well-connected gets easy money, they buy art, and then 18 months later, two years later, it's in high inflation for those who aren't wealthy. So it creates stratification. And we show that the high-end concentrated works are collected by central bank insiders, while the low end is lost in analysis. So what we're doing as part of this book project is we're looking at the low end of how does the low end of art markets develop. And what we discover is superstar effects that these consecrated artists who are bought through the auctions by easy money become wealthier faster than those artists who aren't collected by the insiders. So we would expect with the end of the Bretton Woods gold convertibility standard that you would see more and more stratification in the economy because you don't have to convert the money into gold. So what we have, we're using the Australian art market. We have 100,000 transactions, and painters who are in these specialized art history books, if they're mentioned in this book, then they're a high level, high end artist. If they're mentioned in this more encyclopedic version, then they're a mid-level painter, and the painter is none of the above if they're not listed in any of the materials. And then we use 1990 to normalize the data. So from 71 to 1990, the market is establishing themselves, the consecration process is occurring, and then so we would expect at the same time corporate art collecting and art creating, especially by financial firms, is creating. So we're looking at what happens to the market after 1990. Those artists who are sold and consecrated before 1990, what happens after that period? And what we find, you'll see as expected, we find here's the low end. We see the unconsecrated artists losing value, right? You see the middle end holding its own, and then you see the high end or the middle, and then the high end experiencing growth. So you're getting increasing inequality between the artists, amongst the artists, based on these consecration categories. And then you'll see here in the post 1990, or those who sold pre 1990, what happens to them post 1990, you'll see that the value of the unconsecrated artists actually goes down, right? While the value of the consecrated artists collected by insiders go up. So as expected, we see art market segmentation develop with Cantillon effects after the 1990 crisis. So the 1990 financial crisis is a trigger point for more Cantillon effects. And then the establishment of Christie's in Melbourne helps develop this market. And we do see the superstar effects as the low end emerges and the high end has greater growth rates.